I could just show you a quick tutorial on how to call one Zenphi flow from another. It's really pretty simple. You need at least 2 flows or more. So this one we're going to show 2. So our parent flow in this example, the trigger of my flow is going to be a Google form. So it's a Google form that I created with just a couple questions on it, and I made a response form. You can just click that on the response tab when you create a Google form, and it will automatically generate a Google Sheet. Okay, so and then the next thing I have that you're going to need is a if condition. Wherever in your workflow that you're wanting to call the other flow, that's where you would put this. The if condition needs to be configured. You configure it by clicking here. Remember, or one thing to note is an if condition is always when you configure it, it's always configured for the true branch. So we need to configure this for the where it's gonna equal or be true. So I'm going to say when owner not owner, and I got that from my Google form here, is equal to, you have several options to select from, is equal to owner, then it would go down the true path. If not, it will go down the false path. One thing I use in my if conditions is this kind of schematic here. So when I go back into the workflow, I can tell which side is which. So we are going to select not owner, so it will go down the false path. It's going to hit this HTTP request. So you need to add an action from the token picker on the side and HTTP request. And we're going to leave this right here. And then now you need to create your second workflow because you need information from the other workflow, from the child workflow for this. So let's hop over here. Your child workflow is going to start with an API trigger. It says HTTP trigger or a little API in the icon there. And then you're going to go in to grab some information from this trigger. You're going to get that from the invocation tab. Now this has all the information populated. You may run into a situation where you create your workflow, you go into this trigger, you click invocation, and there's nothing there. It'll tell you what to do, but you need to publish the flow before that information will show up. So just go ahead and create the workflow with that trigger, click publish, and then you can go into it, click invocation, and this stuff will be here. That's important to remember, or you'll be spinning your tires for a bit. In here, we have some information. We have a with header, we have a without header on the bottom, and then in the middle is the actual header. For our purposes, we're going to take the top one, the with header. So we're going to copy that to our clipboard. And then we are going to head back over to the parent flow. So in that action that we put in there, we're going to paste the URL in the API URL field. The headers you can leave blank because this contains the header. And in the request method, there are several options. We are selecting post for this example because we're going to be posting information to the other workflow. And then down here in the request body, you need to fill in anything that's starred here, right? So this one's text, and we are using the content type of application/JSON. So I went ahead and put that in there. And then there's a little bit of JSON code here. So we're going to put information in, sending information over to the child workflow. This right here, this token, came from our Google Forms response. This one right here. So now that that's configured, let's finish up our child flow. And over here back in the child workflow, the next action that we need is we need to get a convert JSON to object because we're sending a JSON file over. And what information are we going to parse? It's going to be that HTTP body from the first one that we did. So in this trigger, we're going to use the HTTP body. And then I'm going to end this workflow with the email. So I'm going to send a Gmail. Make sure your connection is set. Enter a address, or if you happen to have an address in one of your other actions, you can select that as well. Reply to address is not required, but I always like to put one in there. Subject, type in your subject or select a subject from your token picker. Format will default to rich text. And then you can type anything you want in there. What I did is I took the result info, so information from here, put that in there, and it should email me the word test is what it should email me when we run it. All right. So let's go ahead and see how it works. We got to go back over to the parent flow. This is what it should email me right here, test. So let's see how it works. Save it. I'm just going to do a test run. For my last one, it runs really fast because there's hardly any actions in here. We'll see it run. And it ran, so we will go over to our Gmail and see if it showed up. And as you can see in my Gmail right here, it did send an email. It said with the title of flow test, which is what we put in there, and with the word test. So that is how you do that. It's pretty simple. Love to help you out. Hope you're enjoying our product and your journey with Zenphi, and let's help you write your automation story today.